Number 2, improve root farming. Root farming is one of the updates that has untapped potential. It was introduced as a new dimension of farming. Be honest with me, you don't know how root farming works, do you? Let me teach you how to do it. Welcome back to another video, and today I am gonna be teaching you one of Growtopia's most underrated features, which is root farming. So what is root farming? It basically is just like the traditional farming, but with a few little extra steps. It was introduced way back in July 2019, but well, as you know, right now it isn't popular anymore. But just in case you want to learn how to do roots, this is the video for you. So what you're seeing right now on your screen is a Bountiful Blast. You can buy the Bountiful Blast on the store, on your, typically where the blasts are found. I think it's in world building. Yeah, it's cheap. It costs like 5,000 gems. And when you use the blast, you're basically given, this entire terrain world. In the world, you would also see these trees. These are called Bountiful Blocks. This is basically your farmables in root farming. One more thing that you would see in the world is this block. This is a fertile soil block, and it is kind of like dirt, but the difference is it's essentially for root farming. Right here is a fertile soil farm. It is the same as a dirt farm, but it's made out of soil. I recommend you to get one of these if you want to switch from traditional farming to root farming, because it's gonna be easier for you to get, a lot of goodies in the end. You might be wondering why I'm lagging here, but that's because for some reason, these root blocks are laggy. Okay, so let me show you the pattern of root farming. In traditional farming, what you usually do is place blocks, to break the blocks, get the seeds and gems, and then
place the seeds and then harvest the trees and then repeat.
It's somewhat similar with the process of fruit farming, but well, only somewhat. So there is a difference. What you want to do first is get the seed of your choice. For instance, I have a Bountiful Flowering Lattice seed. There's actually 12 different Bountiful blocks in the Roots update, all with different gem drops. But right now, from what I know, the best Bountiful block so far is the Bountiful Growtopian Eating Looming Plant. So firstly, plant a seed, and then if I go over it, it says that a root is growing. So what does it mean? If I use a grow spray, you will see this tiny little root under it. That is what you saw a while ago in my soil farm. But why is it not gray, you may ask? Because right now there's a tree on it, and the color depends on the Bountiful block that you're using. So when I break this, basically goes back to gray because there's no tree on it. So right now this is a level 0 root. What do I mean by a level 0 root? Let's say for instance we plant another seed and then I use another grow spray fertilizer. The root changed, right? And this one is a level 1 root. So what this basically means, if in traditional farming you plant and harvest and plant and harvest, this one adds an extra step. Every time you plant a seed and harvest that tree, the root grows by 1 level. So how many levels does these roots have? It actually depends. Some have 3, some have 4, some have 5. But let me demonstrate to you. This is level 1. If I break that, I got a seed, and then plant this. I use a grow spray again. This is level 2. I break it, and then I plant another seed, and then I use another grow spray on it. This is level 3, and the moment I break it, I get a mature root. This means that, the Bountiful Flowering Lattice block only requires 3 root levels before I get to this mature root. So this is what basically gives you the goodies, the gems. When I punch this mature root, you see it dropped the gems. And this thingy, which is what you call a root cutting. What these root cutting does right now is that you can use them in a chemical combiner, you know, like a laboratory, and make different items like clothings and stuff. Another question, what if I don't get enough seeds from harvesting the trees? What you basically just do is do the massing process. This is the part that is often done after harvest. Place the blocks, and then you break the blocks. The key difference between farmables and bountiful blocks is that bountiful blocks do not drop gems. They only drop seeds for you to plant it later on. And then once you got the seeds, you just plant it again, and then you repeat again. After you harvest, you get the blocks, and then you break it, blah blah blah, and then you go back to plant the seeds, and then another growth spray, and then another root. Break the tree, get the blocks, break them again. Let's say for example I'm done breaking, and then I get the seeds again. I go back to the soil, place another seed, and then growth spray maybe, and then harvest it, and then you just literally repeat the process until you get a mature root. That is how easy root farming is. Place, bam, and you basically have a mature root. There you go. You get the gems. Root cuttings, gems, easy, simple as that. The amount of gems that you get per bountiful block differs, like I said a while ago. For instance, this is the best bountiful block right here, the green ones. This is the bountiful Growtopian eating blooming plant that I said earlier. So when I punch this, wow, that's a lot of gems. But don't be fooled, because as of right now that I'm making this video, traditional farming is still better than root farming. But just in case you want to invest in root farming, I advise you that you go do it. Because just a little tip, an update that right now is useless can be useful at a later date. And when that update gets rebalanced again and becomes more useful, and let's say these root cuttings gets an actual better purpose, everyone's gonna be buying all of these bountiful items, soil blocks, root cuttings, and you know, the demand will just increase. And since root farming is so dead right now, it's unpopular, there is limited supply. So what will happen is that everything bountiful related will rise. But you know, it's an investment. Who knows when Growtopia, when Ubisoft is gonna care about this update? Maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe later, maybe soon. And that concludes the tutorial on root farming. Subscribe.